Grab a pen, grab a notebook. I'm about to give you guys some gems. All right, this is credit sauce. This people are charging like 500 or more for information like this. So go ahead and take this. It's free YouTube game. So let's get it. All right, cracking the code to Amazon Wealth. I'm giving you guys strategies on funding. All right, this is top tier information and probably the fastest way you can get funding for your business. So let's get it. So you do need a credit profile. All right, you need a 700 plus, obviously, or better, but 700 plus, obviously, like I said. And then you cannot have any negatives. That's the best way you can get funded. No negatives at all. Utilization, I recommend 0% to 2%. That way it looks like you're not really thirsty. It looks like you're responsible. You're not thirsty for credit, things of that nature. So if you don't have a credit profile or if it's empty, I suggest you get that going. You need 3 to 5 primary accounts. And when I say primary, I really mean revolving accounts. So credit cards, you can use trade lines and things of that nature. But I really suggest that you develop your credit profile on your own. Um, if you can get, family or friends to get you as an authorized user, that's great. Add those, but also just have your own accounts as well. Now, once your personal is established, that's when you want to start focusing on a business. So before you even file or anything like that, come up with a business name, something that doesn't really sound risky. Anything with trading or real estate, things like that, stay away from it. Your main business name, just add enterprise at the end of it. That way it sounds, less risky. It sounds cool, sounds legitimate. Banks won't really worry about it. So, for example, let's just say you want to name your LLC like MSI. You want to add like MSI Enterprise LLC, something like that. So, it don't really sound too risky. And then next thing you want to do is have a business address. So I recommend Opus Virtual Solutions, and they do provide virtual addresses. These are addresses that you can actually go to pick up mail. So you want to use their addresses. But the thing is, when you do pick a location, make sure you look at the photos to see if it's like an actual office building, something like a corporate building, something like that. That way, when the banks do look at the address, they can see that it's actually a office building. It's a commercial building, and it's not some type of mail forwarding service. So, um, Opus does also provide business phone number as well and fax number, so that's also a great thing. Another thing you want to focus on is business email. That's very important, especially when you're creating like a bank account, things of that nature. So yeah, business email, business phone number. I just recommended you guys with Opus. They do the same thing with business phone number. And then when it comes to filing, you can file it yourself, or you can use a business like Zen Business. They do filing services for LLCs, and there's other ones too that you guys can look at. But I do suggest Zen Business because that's the one that I've used the most. You can pay them to expedite it, so that way they can file it quicker. You can do all this pretty much with any state. Just make sure you're aware of taxes and things of that nature. I know Massachusetts is one of the most expensive states for LLC. It's like $520 a year. So, especially when you file it, it does cost that much. So, you know, take into consideration there's states like Wyoming where I don't think it costs that much, but also you get to be anonymous, things like that. But up to you, do your research. And yeah, just do your research on what you want to do with that. But after that, you can get an EIN number yourself. So do not pay Zen Business to do EIN because you can get an EIN number for free. I believe Zen Business will charge you like $100. So avoid that. Just tell them to file it. Once everything is set, you can go ahead and get an EIN number for your business for free from the IRS website. But just make sure you're on the website during business hours. I don't know by head, but just look it up. It's everything is, you can look at it on the internet for free. But they do have business hours, so you can't get an EIN number during the times they're not operating. But once you have an LLC set up, everything is smooth. You have an EIN number. That's when you can go ahead and open up a business checking account. All right, this is the key to building a relationship with your bank. This is the key. Once you open the account, you deposit money. Depositing the money is the number one way of building that relationship. You want to deposit that money for 3 to 6 months. All right, this is highly effective. Obviously, more than 6 months is great as well, but I would say like a month or two. not really too effective. 3 to 6 months is great because you get to build up your account, which I'll talk about more. So there's tiers. So the more you do deposit, you get to climb up those tiers. That way you get more funding later on when you do apply for credit. All right, there's average daily balance ledger. So that just means that, every day you have a balance, they're going to pretty much average that out throughout the month. So even when you have a statement, it'll tell you how much you had in your bank on average throughout the month. So if you have $5,000 on day one and you increased it throughout the month, it's going to show that, it increased, but it's going to show that it's over that amount that you first deposit. As long as that daily average balance ledger is high and it continues to increase, just know that you're going to get a higher amount in credit when you do apply. And the next thing you want to do when it comes to applying for credit, you want to personal guarantee it. That way, when you do apply, you will get approved. Because when I mentioned earlier, your personal credit has to be 700 plus. You got to have it, no negatives, things like that. So when you do apply for business credit, you can get approved more quicker. So with your personal being good, in a good position, and you're depositing money into the business checking account, you have a higher chance of getting approved. All right. You want to do this with different banks though. So say, for example, Bank of America, you will open up a business checking account. You will deposit money for 3 to 6 months. You will do that every so often, deposit, and then when you apply, make sure your personal credit is in a good position. All right, so when you do apply, you get approved, and then you can do the same thing again with a different bank. So you take all that money out, and then you go ahead and go to Chase, and then you go to a different bank like Truist, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you keep moving. That way, you're stacking up the credit cards, so you get more funding. Don't use it immediately, but just keep on stacking the credit cards. That way, you have more funding. More credit you have, it will just mean that you get to buy more inventory. So the more inventory you buy, which is, the more units you buy, the more sales you get to make. The more sales you make, the more profit you make. So therefore, you just keep making money. And then you just pay off the credit card. The credit card, whatever you use, however much amount of money you use, you pay that off, keep the profit. You keep doing it over and over again. All right, that's the formula right there. Take the credit card, you buy products that will make you money. Once you get the sales, you pay off the credit card. Keep the profit. Simple as that. The fundamentals, I do have videos on my YouTube channel that you guys can watch. That way you can see how to source. All right. I also do have an ebook you guys can purchase and, look at more of my strategies and things like that to help you out. But follow the rules, bro. It's simple. Like, please don't break it. The rules are very simple. You only use the credit card to make money. Do not use the credit card to buy anything else that will not make you money. Do not buy shoes. Do not use the credit card to travel. None of that stuff. You only use the credit card to make you money because this is the cheat code. All right. Simple as that. The loophole is right there, bro. You use a credit card to purchase products to make you money because if you weren't born rich, this is probably the best way to go ahead and go about it. And that is the system, bro. That's pretty much it. That's how you go about it. So go ahead and take this information and use it. Deposit money into the bank. You do that with each bank. All right. So once you're done with Bank of America, you got approved with the credit cards. You take that money. You do the same thing with a different bank. You keep doing it over and over with other banks. You stack up all the credit cards, and then when you're ready to buy inventory, you have a bunch of credit. You feel me? You have a bunch of credit cards stacked up and ready to go. And you're only gonna use your business because the benefit to that is that when you do use your business credit cards, the balances will not show up on your personal. So your utilization on your personal will remain at 0 to 2%, while your business is the one that has high utilization and balances and things of that nature. So, take this information and use it for real. It's gonna help you out.